we've just checked in at the check-in point for the garden tour.
And security. This hurts really bad.
Classy security's got her own earpiece.
Yeah, and this thing of a
we've just been,
how do you play music?
It plays music, that's it, so they can talk to you and walk around. Yeah, so we can give them little earpieces and kind of speaker devices. So we can hear the tours while walking around, which is quite cool. I think we might be starting by walking down to the garden, so we'll take you along with us, won't we?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hello.
Just making our way down to the garden on the tour. First stop is the garden entrance.
Hound fountain, and yes, the hound fountain does usually work. All the fountains, as you'll find out later today, are gravity fed by water, and there's lots of tales about the water I'm going to explain later. So it normally comes out of the mouth, the water into the trough here. So what's this hound all about? Well, the Talbot family were extremely keen on hounds, so keen that in their coat of arms it featured hounds, lions and hounds. So quarry greenhouse. So along the front here there was originally glass, two domes on the right and the left, also with glass. Well, what's happened to the right one? Well, where's that? Well, unfortunately, some time ago a tree branch fell on the right dome, crushed it beyond repair, so unfortunately we are down one dome. It can never be replaced. In times past this was used as a tea room, it was used as a cafe, and unfortunately even as a lavatory. Obviously nothing like that will ever happen to it again. One day it might be fully restored. So we're going to go back down to the Dutch garden, a brief pause there, and then we're going on to the Grand Conservatories, which is similar to this but has been restored, and I've got some facts and figures for that that are simply going to blow your mind. So this is the Grand Conservatory. So it was completed in 1820 and it was designed by Robert Abraham. Cast iron with glass. How much do you think it cost to build? In 1820 it cost £13,000, which in today's money with inflation is £1.1 million. Or you could say each glass pane cost £90 to replace. Another thing as well, you may notice the pine cones on the top. The pine cones are meant to be a nod to the Earl of Shrewsbury's link to the Scottish families, the Scottish heritage. Tropical plants, there's a heated pool in the middle, and that's exactly what the Earls of Shrewsbury would recognise in the day when they lived here. So we're gradually putting plants back in, we're putting water lilies in the heated pool. Watch your step.
Seeing does it.
You can see where the cast iron's been restored with glass. You can see as also that when it was deteriorating and water was leaking through, it's left a bit of a stain on the concrete here, on the slabs, the concrete slabs. So this is called the summer house. It was designed by Joseph Ireland. It's got a Greek influence, and that's why it's also known as the temple. Now, quite some time ago, there was beautiful stained glass windows here. Now there's just iron bars. You've got a lovely view of the yew archway walk. Her ladyship and members of the Earl of Shrewsbury's family used to love sitting here on a summer's day. So this goes by several names. It's known as the screw fountain, the corkscrew fountain, the spiral fountain, the siren fountain, and even the candlestick fountain. It was designed in the 1800s by Thomas Fragley. It's gravity powered like all the fountains in these grounds, in the gardens, and it's fed by 2 ponds located north of the fountain, which are fed from the larger boating lane.
Skipping a jump. Oh, don't do that.
In the 1850s, a large black bear was kept there. Visitors to Alton Towers had wanted to look at the bear. Now, in the year 1857, a Mrs. Tompkinson came to visit the bear. Now, she could have been from nearby Cheadle. Why do I say this? Because a letter came to Alton Towers saying that Mrs. Tompkinson had her hand badly mauled by the bear. Maybe she got too close, maybe she tried to pet the said bear, but either way, a local physician in Cheadle said that the bear had been badly mangled her hand, mauled her hand. So welcome to Prospect Tower. It's also referred to as the Gothic Prospect Tower. It was built upon this area called Thompson's Rock in 1820. Now we've got a lovely view of the conservatories to the right. You've got the iconic Alton Towers building straight ahead, and you've got Little Swiss Cottage to the left. Now Swiss Cottage was built in 1835. It was designed by Thomas Fragley, and the Earl employed a Welsh harpist called Edward Jarvis, who resided there for a number of years, and he used to play on his harp Welsh folk music, and it used to waft across the valley, and people would love to listen to that, and it's acquired the nickname as well as Harper's Cottage there. But the great irony of that, and this is probably from there the best view across the valley, so if you ever have a chance to visit, whether you after the tour or later on in the day, or if you're here tomorrow, go down the path right to the cottage and look across the valley. It is fantastic. And as I was saying, the great irony that poor old Edward Jarvis had is he couldn't see it, he was blind. Now in recent times, when I was a boy, which is a long time ago, but I was once a boy, it was a silver service cafe, so they served cream teas on the patio and inside. So you can imagine what wonderful views and how nice it'd be having a nice cream tea looking across the valley on a summer's day. Just a pile of stones, as you can see. But it's actually heritage lost, and it was lost a long time ago because there's a tree on top of the site. But apparently there once was placed an Indian temple which had a large snake with jewel eyes and ivory teeth, and all there is now is just a few scales you see on the stones at the side. So the temple is long gone. Of course it'll never ever come back, but it would have been great back in the day. So we're going to go on to the next site, which will be the other side of the bear cave. As I said, if any of you wish to go in and take a quick photograph or a quick look inside, then please feel free to do so. And don't
See the metal hooks there that you talked about, those? The doors used to be.
Wasn't there any hooks on here? For sure.
It's not a very big hole, was it, for
Surely the
massive
bear could climb up.
Well, there used to be mesh on there, like a metal fence.
House or a hot house. A ladyship often changed behind there where the columns are. There's some doors, a changing room, so she get changed behind there. Jump into this plunge pool here. We've got a statue on the top. That's the god Triton. In Greek mythology, Triton is the son of the god Poseidon, the god of the sea. Welcome to the Loggia, known as the Colonnade of the Muses. Now, Loggia is an Italian word for lodge, and our Loggia celebrates amusements, or muses. So, we've got 9 muses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said 9, not 10. The one in the middle where I'm pointing is the god Apollo. Now he's carved from marble. The muses, which look quite worn, are all sandstone. They're 90 centimetres high, restored in the 1990s and replaced here. And in 1961, when we walked down the Scallop wall path, the Dahlia Walk, Her Ladyship's Walk, they were originally, as in the photograph, was shown on top of the Scallop wall. Well, they shouldn't have been there, they should have been here. So in the 1990s, they were restored and replaced back here. You've seen all the other old buildings. Some of them are 1820, 1820s, 1830. This is actually 1920. So what's so special about this? Well, until the 1990s, and I was quite surprised about how late in the day, we had live bands and groups actually performing in the bandstand here. So can you imagine on a Sunday afternoon a brass band playing whilst people are having picnics here in the grounds and the music wafting across the valley? How beautiful would that be? How lovely would that be? Now you're going to ask me, I can feel it in my mind, that why did it stop? Yeah. We don't know. The simple reason is it could be that people were more interested in rides, that they were not particularly bothered about live music or bands in the bandstand. So it fell out of favour, just like the Swiss cottage serving cream teas, it fell out of favour. But one day, maybe one day, both the Swiss cottage and this will come back and see life. I certainly hope so. 1,300 years ago, men fought over this very land, this very spot. And in a period known as, originally as the Dark Ages, but now commonly referred to as the early medieval period, the kings involved were 2 Saxon kings, King Ceolred of Mercia and King Einar of Wessex.
Notice the
other hounds I mentioned. We're going to go into the conservatory.
Taking a lion.
Oh, it's like lion dentistry.
So stunning it does.
So this is the conservatory. I suppose today you can call it faded grandeur, but it wasn't always like that. It was perhaps absolutely beautiful. We've got meeting tiles on the floor, these are original, designed by Eugene on his way on the railway journey up to Stoke-on-Trent. He came up with the design, so all these tiles would be across the floor and it would be beautiful in here. There was cut glass chandeliers, there were songbirds and gilded cages, fine plants, palms, sculptures.
It's an actual family descriptive, recreation then consider the range of
Retire here, they can play cards.
It's cool, isn't it? That's...
The gentlemen will go into the room next door and they can play billiards and maybe smoke a fine cigar. This area here is called the Long Gallery. It's generally well lit because obviously you can see the windows that are boarded up, but there was a lot of light in this room. It's called actually referred to as the tea room, but it's got nothing to do with drinking tea, which I'm sure large amounts of tea would be drunk here. Ready to accomplish in English. We've got the Talbot House look, representing the Earls of Shrewsbury, lying on the shield. This is the most important window in the country. This is the biggest window ever commissioned by a private owner for Eugene to design. He never designed another window this big for a private owner. The other great extravagance, of course, was the Houses of Parliament, the Palace of Westminster. As you can see, we've got some fireplaces still in place. We've got meshes to keep the pigeons out. You're the very first group to be actually allowed into this room. Don't go beyond the black door, as they're not deemed safe at the moment. Steps, you can see where there was a fireplace, and that's where the original floor was.
Floating fireplace does. Whoa. That's a view, does.
So you've got the boating lake straight ahead. As I said, all the lakes were hand dug, no machinery.
Smiler's dealing does. Garden Towers Chapel. Which did they say was the new... Oh, the one on the right was the new bit of wood, wasn't it? So they are two of the bits of wood that used to be on the walls. The left one being the original.
Which one's the real one?
The one on the left is the real one. And the one on the right being replica. All the rest were sold off when they redid it to sell all the bits. Those are the stained glass windows that aren't original, but they're actually put in the 1990s, I think, by a student doing the A levels. We'll see then, it's quite immense.
Yola!
So, we've just completed, and I feel kind of like I've accomplished something. I feel like we've accomplished the Garden and Towers tour. What did you think, Lou?
Yeah, it was really good. It was quite tiring doing it. It was a lot of steps, so I wouldn't do it if you're not feeling too healthy.
When they say when you book it, just be mindful because there's like 2.5 kilometres to walk in and 350 steps.
If I be honest, it didn't, other than the steps, it didn't really feel much like a walk. It just felt like a quick jog.
Yeah, but you're fitter than us. I'm little. They'd kill me. Anyway, the house tour was the best bit. You got to kind of go upstairs and onto the roof and into the chapel. The chapel was quite eerie, a bit weird, but yeah, it was it's well worth the £10 each, I think it was. And for a VIP tour of that length, I don't understand how they're really doing it for that price. It's really good. I think there was a group of about 20 of us in total.
Yeah, and 20's maximum on it.
Yeah, and so they gave you earpieces at the beginning. You can listen to the entire tour through the earpieces. There was a couple of bits where we obviously went out of range of the guy and it got a bit crackly, but for the majority of the time it was fine. But
yeah, I really enjoyed it. What was your favourite part, Dad?
Probably like going in the conservatories in the garden.
Yeah, the Great Hall and the chapel window was the window on the Great Hall is like stunning, isn't it? And just going up to the roof, I got some really cool shots on the roof. It's quite
I also
cool.
like the tails.
Yeah, it is a shame that it's still not open to everybody, but I can fully understand nowadays why they don't open it to everybody. So,
Because it is really run down.
yeah, the balls run past us. Anyway, until next time.
Toodaloo, see you later. You've been watching Coasting with the Joneses. Please like, share, subscribe, and most of all, stay awesome.